Yo, what's up? It's your boy Six, and welcome back to another no setup card trick tutorial. In today's video, I'm sharing with you another wonderful effect from the brilliant mind of Roy Walton. This was published by Karl Fulves, that's the guy we talked about in the last video, in the Chronicles issue number 25, which is a series of publications from the 1980s. This is a really clever, self-working card trick that's based around the premise of the lucky number of 7. So let's go ahead and get right into the performance, and then we'll take a look at the tutorial. And remember, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it really helps support the channel. And if you're feeling extra generous this holiday season, be sure to hit that like button and drop a comment down below. So let's take a look at the performance of this no setup card trick titled Lucky 7 by Roy Walton. We give the cards a few shuffles just like this, throw in a few cuts. The cards are genuinely mixed. I'm going to use my lucky number because sometimes when performing I need all the luck that I can get. So I'm going to go ahead and take out some cards here, looking for my lucky number. This one will work perfectly. My lucky number 7. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to use that lucky number 7 to help me out. Now at this point I have the spectator cut off a small packet of cards, and they're going to give those a shuffle, and that is going to be the spectator's packet that they now shuffled. And I got some more cards here, so I'd give them a bunch of cards. Say, go ahead, take these cards, give those a shuffle, and I'm going to ask the spectator to cut anywhere in the packet. This will all be done in their hands, and they're going to look at a card. So in this case, this will be their card. I'm going to show it just to make sure it's in focus there. And they're going to go ahead and drop that on top of the shuffled packet, because now they shuffle the packet, so the shuffle cards are on top, shuffle cards on the bottom, and now they get to shuffle this packet and drop that on top. Their card is genuinely lost inside a shuffled packet. I'll even drop my cards on top, and now we're ready to begin. So a very fair procedure to start off this wonderful effect. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my lucky number 7 to see if it can help me out. So I'm going to see if I can count. I need all the luck I can get. So they say third time's the charm, so I'm going to use 7 3 times. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This narrows it down to 3 cards, and I'm hoping one of these cards will actually be your card. However, I need to take it a step further, so I'm going to go ahead and use lucky 7 one more time because we have 3 cards. Let's narrow it down to just one. I'm going to count 7. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this would be number 7. So I'm hoping one of these is not your card. Yeah, these are not your cards. That'll leave me 1 card. I asked the spectator what their card was. They tell me, and guess what? It's going to be their card, the Jack of Hearts. There you have it. That is Lucky 7 from Roy Walton. Another wonderful effect. Alright, so let's take a look at this wonderful no setup card trick from Roy Walton. Now this is very straightforward, and it's pretty simple as long as you follow the steps. The only thing I will say is there is one prerequisite for this, and that is that the deck must have 52 cards. You need 52 cards in the deck. If it's missing a card or an extra card is added, it won't work out. The mathematics of this do work because there are 52 cards in the deck. The deck is fully shuffled, as I said, and they are given a mix. Now here's what happens. The first thing I do is I say I'm going to look for a lucky card or a lucky number, and I'm going to start going through the cards. And what I do is I start dropping cards onto the table, and what I'm really doing is putting 20 cards onto the table. So there's a number of ways you can do it. If you want to count off 10 cards, drop that to the table, drop another 10, get 20. That's the easiest way. You can also do it in groups where you take off, say in this case, 5 cards, drop 3, drop 2, go through, take another 5, another 3, another 2, make it a little sloppy. You can do it that way. Any combination of numbers you want to do in order to put 20 cards on the table. You just really don't want to look like you're counting, right? You want to avoid that. So usually the best way is to push off groups. So push off, say 4, then you can push off another 4, it's 8, drop 2. Again, I think 4 is the easiest. 4, another 4, drop 2, and now you have 20 cards on the table. From here, I'm just going to look for the nearest 7 and say, oh, there we go, I got it. My lucky card or my lucky 7. And I'm going to drop that right on top of that pile. So we're going to leave that inside the middle there. And you just cover the cards up. That is it. So basically, the 7 of spades at this point is now the 21st card from the bottom. So that is your position check right here. So your face up 7 is 21 cards from the bottom. It is the 21st card. Now I'm going to have the spectator cut off a small packet of cards, obviously not cutting to that 7. A couple of things. You know that 7 is face up, so that means usually from the edge, you're not always going to be able to tell directly, but usually you'll be able to get an idea because you'll see like the bowing of the cards, because the cards naturally get their concaveness to them. So you'll see that indent or something on the edge, and you'll kind of get a rough idea. But you just want the cards, the spectator cut off cards, maybe 10, 15 cards, obviously no more than 20. If they're going past half the deck, you know you're in trouble. So if it looks like they cut half the deck, tell them to put some back. So less than half the deck is what you're aiming for, and that's my tip for you. Now you go ahead and they cut off that packet. They're going to take this and they're going to shuffle those cards. And once they shuffle them, you can tell them you can drop it in front of them. Now I still have my deck here, and I'm saying, you know what, we have some more cards here. I'm going to give you another packet. Go ahead and take those cards. And what you're doing now is I'm just dropping a packet, but all I have to do is make sure that that 7 ends up in my hand. So I need to make sure that I drop between 1 and 20 cards, right? Because I need to have that 21st card with me. So what I do is I just make sure I cut off a smaller packet, so I'll know this would be about 10 cards or so just from eyeballing it. Another tip is that if you can see the edge of the card, then you'll be good to go. And the reason is because usually you can just cut and you'll see, like, I know that I'm a few cards off from that 7 because the cards are used. There's a little slight bend and it's very, very minimal. You probably can't pick it up on camera, but in person you'll definitely be able to see it. So all you're gonna do is drop a few cards on the table, and you keep this packet for yourself, the one with the 7 in it. Now the packet you just gave them, they're gonna pick up again. Say, pick up that packet. Now give those cards a shuffle. Now realize they just shuffled those. They're gonna take these cards, give these cards a shuffle, and now you say, and this is my procedure that I added. Roy Walton does it where he puts it on the table. It's a little weird. I just have them shuffle the cards. They're gonna cut and look at a card. So just give a packet a cut, look at that card. In this case, we get the 3 of diamonds. And you're gonna say, you know what, drop it on the packet on the table that you just shuffled, so we know that it's completely mixed somewhere, right? Because you just shuffled those cards, you shuffled these cards, add it there, and take the cards in your hand and even shuffle those and drop those on top. And the spectator does all of that for you, and it seems really, really fair and really, really clean. And their card is lost in the pack. You genuinely do not know where it is at this moment. However, the mathematics of this are gonna help you out because I have a face-up 7 here. What's cool now is that when I drop this packet on top, all I have to do to begin this effect. Now, if you wanted to add in some false cuts at this point, this is a good time to add in some false cuts. And in fact, you can actually do real cuts. Real cuts won't disturb it either. So if you want to throw in a Charlier shuffle, you can do that as well. It won't make a difference because what's going to happen is that now, after you do your shuffling and your cuts, you're going to go through and say, I'm going to take that face-up 7, and it's going to help me out. Use my lucky numbers. That's it. All you have to do is cut that 7 to the top. So you can cut the deck and it won't make a difference because it doesn't disturb the order. You could do that Charlier shuffle, what we covered in many videos already, or you could just do some false cuts. It's really up to you. You don't even have to do any of it. Just pick up the deck and go to the 7. It's all your choice, whatever your preference is. So in this case, I'm going to count 7 cards as I showed you. But what I want to make sure I do is that I include this card as number 1. So I'm going to go, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7. That's 7 cards. I go in again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 14 cards. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that's 21 cards. What's brilliant about this effect is because of the way in which they cut the cards. Remember that 7 that we placed was at the 21st position. Well, we just did 21 cards, and what it did is it positioned their card in the 21st position. So just by following that procedure, absolutely amazing. You're probably fooling yourself right now. There are some mathematics behind it. I'm not going to go into that, but their card ends up in the 21st position. So I know their card ends up here. Listen, if you're comfortable with a Magician's Choice or Magician's Force, you can force one of these packets. So, choose a packet. Maybe they'll pick this one and you have a miracle. Up to you. I finish it the way Roy Walton suggests. He picks up the first card here, the second card, and then you place their selection on top of this packet. So now you're here, and you're still going to use the 7. And all I'm going to do is count just like I did, counting 7. But their card has to be on top. And this is a cool little thing just to know for any effect that you may end up with 3 cards, and maybe you want to force that card. So it's on top, and I'm just going to count 7. Now if I count 7, look, I'm going to leave it face up for you. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 will be their card, the 3 of diamonds. So this is a cool little force that you can use as well. So if you ever have 3 cards and you want to force that top card, or maybe you're using ESP cards, maybe you just have 3 random cards selected and you want to force one of them, you can simply just say, I'm going to use a little bit of luck, count to 7, and you can get to the 7. So it's a good tool to have. So once again, that's on top, and I just count 7 cards, one underneath the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 is going to be the 3 of diamonds, and that is their selected card. So I like to get to this point, and I say, I hope one of these is not your card. Build a little suspense. Drop those on top so that it's out of the way. I like this little display at the end. Personally, I enjoy that. If you want to make it a little fancy, you can say, you know, it could have been any one of these cards. We don't know. We ended up with 1 card, and now look at this beautiful display you end up with. It's a really nice presentation that fills the table. And filling space is great in Magic. And now you just come here, say, what was your card? They say the 3 of diamonds. You turn it over, shows the 3 of diamonds, and then you have an absolutely wonderful effect. That'll even fool some magicians, I think. So that is Lucky 7 from Roy Walton, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.
Pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my